just continue to play scrappy, play kind of solo queue-esque, play to your strengths.
Well, we're into picks and bans here in game number 3, the third and final game of the night. And immediately, the respect bans are coming out from Invictus Gaming here. They take away the Lucian and the Caitlyn, as well as the Thresh coming in for Seal. They take them away and even lock in Swain as their first pick, giving Kindred on over towards Saint.
Means that Saint will have to have a completely different composition, and like you said, that immediate Kindred response. We'll see what AD carry S2IZ looks to go. In the past series, he's been given the honor of the counter pick.
Let's see what they decide to do with their final pick in this matchup. Azir actually not being banned out in this series, so it is going to be picked up by Saint one more time.
Again, Otto still retaining a spot, so there was not a mid lane substitution back to Snoopy. Otto had a great performance, definitely an upgrade over Snoopy.
Still waiting for Saint to lock in their final pickup. They're in their first pick rotation. They already got the Kindred being picked up for Captain. He played Rek'Sai pretty well in that last match. And there will be the Azir pickup coming in for Otto in the mid lane. He played really well against Rookie to start off that laning phase.
I've always been a fan of Tiangun. I thought he had a lot of talent. Obviously now renamed into Otto. Got to go toe-to-toe with Rookie. Did great, shut him down in the lane. We'll see if he's able to do it on a different matchup. I don't think Rookie will be looking towards the Assassin play again. I think he's probably going to opt into the Victor.
Invictus Gaming, though, look to pick up Graves as their jungler, and one more time we'll pick up Sivir as their AD carry of choice for Rain.
Yeah, they've just resigned Rain to this speed bot. As some interesting picks are now being hovered.
Don't think we're going to see that double AD carry come out from Saints. See what they do decide to pick up in just a bit. They are missing a top laner and their bottom lane at the moment. So they could very well go for their bottom lane pickup, although, like you mentioned earlier, they like to leave out their AD carry pick last sometimes for STYZ. A Bard is going to be the lock-in of choice for their support, and currently thinking of picking up Ezreal, it seems, as their AD carry.
No, it makes sense. Saint have shown that they like to prioritize standard lanes, even going so far as the last game to repeatedly swap into them against IG. So taking a very strong early level 2v2 bot lane in Bard and Ezreal.
Now, IG get a chance to round out their team composition with the final 2 picks of their lineup. They already have their AD carry, top laner, and jungler, so looking for a mid laner and support, and they lock in that mid laner being Twisted Fate, and the support for Tabe is going to be Karma.
So still keeping with their theme of playing around the map, this time by bringing Destiny as well as 2 ways to augment your mobility through Sivir ult as well as the Karma speed up. This does mean that a lot of kill pressure opens up for Rookie to start getting involved much earlier.
Now Saints looking to pick up their top laner as the final pick to go up against the Swain here. See what they decide to send up towards that top lane, because, you know, Saint, Invictus Gaming with the Swain, a very dominant top laner, able to oppress a lot of matchups. And you can see already Akon swapped out. He's got Teleport and Ignite as his summoner spells, which means it's going to be a Fizz lock-in for the top lane.
Okay. So Fizz versus Swain. I'm of the opinion that Fizz is possibly one of the strongest top laners in the game as soon as he has his Sheen, but that's still waiting until 1200 gold. He also has an incredibly powerful level 2, especially when he's running Ignite. So I kind of feel like Acorn has 2 different options here. You either look for an all-in engagement level 1, level 2 to try to push Swain out, or wait until you have your Sheen and try to beat him on a cheeky back.
Well, let's see what Akon decides to do with this Fizz pickup. It's one of the picks, you know, we talked about. We dismissed it as a pick that's coming back as a competitive play, but has risen and has become very popular among top laners and a couple of mid laners here and there too.
Fizz just does absurd damage. His base is ridiculously high. Go check Chum the Waters. He's got Shred on his W, so he does well and fine into tank matchups. He can itemize tanky because itemizing into CDR, which is a lot more free on more items now than it ever was before, gives him pseudo tankiness because it means he's able to use his Playful Trickster more often than not. So taking less damage.
Big point for me as well is Fizz is allowed to take Ignite up into the top lane. We saw a lot of that with Hecarim when he was popular up at the top lane because he's a mobility, and Fizz does the exact same thing. He can jump all around the map, become invulnerable for some times, and that Ignite just slots into where his splash would normally be quite nicely with a teleport up at the top lane. So let's see
what Acorn can do as we head into the third and final game of the night. The coaches will shake hands and we'll head into Summoner's Rift for the third and final match between Invictus Gaming and Saint. And we have loaded onto Summoner's Rift for the third and final match of this series and for tonight. And week 2, day 2 of the LPL between Invictus Gaming and Saint. With two very strong champions being picked up in the top lane for these two teams.
And we have 2 carry junglers, so normally when you look at this, you're looking at the 2v2, the Swain Graves versus the Fizz and Kindred. But Rookie's on Twisted Fate. So this means that top lane has now become a 2v3, especially because Otto did not opt to take the teleport like Republic did on Azir, does have that exhaust. So I love the counterplay that Twisted Fate has against Azir by playing the rest of the map as opposed to just continuously losing his lane.
You take a look at the Keystone Masteries very quickly. Nothing too surprising. I think big thing that might stand up for some people is Strength of the Ages on the Kindred and Grey. Sometimes we see that swapped out, but more stand on the junglers, and further battle up in the top lane for Fizz. Very, very common right now, but just something that's been introduced only this split.
Fervor of battle, ignite, into W. It's pretty hard to outtrade.
We've seen a lot of top laners actually pick that one up as well. Rusty's still a little bit confused as to why the Echoes do it. But Fizz makes a lot of sense. And no early lane sorts coming out, it seems, and Bard is actually going to try and stop the level 1 camp being taken away by the Sivir and the Karma.
And we've talked about this before, it's just because Bard has such an impressive level 1 with his meeps, so it always makes sense on a Bard to contest the camp as opposed to start one of your own, because the longer you keep everyone at level 1, the more power that you have over them. And again, it goes back to this idea that Saint chose a really powerful bot lane in a 2v2 scenario with Ezreal and Bard.
Invictus Gaming was still able to take away the small Krug at level 1, so to have a slight experience advantage for itself going into that game, into the lane, sorry.
Did he steal his red buff?
Did he?
Kid did. He stole the red buff from Captain.
Wow. That is impressive coming in from Kid here, already off to a nice start. So it seems like he did the very cheeky solo queue tactic, go from your Gromp straight to the red buff. As you see trading in the mid lane as well. Azir going to put some hurt down on towards that Twist of Fate. Trades back and forth between Rookie and Otto. Flash forward for the stun card coming in as 2 turret shots were going to 12's Kid. Rookie actually will be taken down in return. Otto outplays him in the mid lane.
Yeah, so aggressive from Kid right there. Taking the red buff, then looks for the immediate gank onto the mid lane, but Rookie extending himself so far right into a cannon creep wave. Otto just turns around and throws down the gauntlet.
And Rookie immediately going to use that teleport to get back in towards the mid lane here, trying to mitigate the advantage that Otto's created for himself now. His captain looking to try and take down his marked Scuttle Crab. Going to pick up a little bit of extra % damage for himself once he kills that camp. Kid wants to try and contest it, but a little bit too low on health and mana.
Needs to really respect Kindred right now, especially because his mid lane is also losing. Otto does manage to get his first back in. Will have to walk all the way, but returning with the Phoenix Codex advantage versus the boots.
It's going to be a big advantage for the Azir in the mid lane. We saw what Otto could do in the previous game once he got a slight lead for himself. Might be able to do the same thing here as we go into game number 2. STYZ in the bottom lane taking a little bit of trade damage coming from Tabe and Rain. So far this bottom lane looks relatively even. STYZ does have a slight CS lead very early on to match for himself as Rookie is running around the jungle for a while here.
He got a very deep ward on Krugs and he's looking for Captain.
who is on the bottom side of the map at the moment. Rookie gets a stun down towards Otto again. Actually might get ganked here by the Kindred. Otto putting a lot of damage back down. The Soldiers not auto-attacking just yet. Has to pull them back into towards the pit. Here comes Captain now. Rookie does have that stun card, but Kid looking to try and jump on top of it. Flashes forward. Is able to pick up the kill. Now he's 1-on-1 against Captain until Fizz is able to jump into this matchup. Acorn teleports down for Saint, but is not going to be able to do anything in this skirmish.
2-for-1 special for IG. Rookie does not trade death, so it's a free kill pickup as well as the summoner spell. I do want to remind people that the Krug ward is not only for Rookie taking a casual stroll through the jungle and trying to find Captain to contest him, but also to allow safety for Zatai. Without Acorn having teleport, it means that if Zatai can force a back out of him, that's much more punishing because he'll also have the wave pressuring and can start to grow a CS advantage. 31-19 so far.
He now knows where Captain is and knows that he's very low on health while trying to take these Krugs as well. In fact, they're getting a huge chunk out of them. Kid immediately responding, trying to get as quickly as he can towards that Krug camp. Might be able to find Captain if he jumped under Orb, and instead he's going to get the back.
No, it's because they want to know for sure that this is going to be a 2v1 scenario. Still having to compete against how slippery this Fizz can be with Playful Trickster.
They flash forward there, put the bird down to get the slow. Acorn trying to get out there, does have the Playful Trickster, but they've got the wraparound against this Fizz. Should be able to take him down here. One more auto attack is going to be enough coming from Kid, but he might be able to use it to get over this wall here. Acorn uses it at the right time. He's able to get over the wall and is trying to go on a mad goose chase and run away from the many members. But here comes Twist of Fate. Rookie going to try and pick up the kill here. Does have the cards available. Acorn has to do it one more time to get executed. Wild cards come in. Not going to be enough as the execution comes out for Acorn.
That Samsung Blue Acorn that I was expecting to see right there. That was so beautifully played. He doesn't panic and use the Playful Trickster. Instead, the Q forces Fizz out a set distance from your target, so he uses the Q as an exit maneuver, holding on to Playful Trickster to dodge the tower, and then buys himself enough time to get the execute. Like, that had to be played perfectly to deny IG.
Still has allowed Tatai to pick up a massive CS advantage for himself up in the top lane. Acorn used his teleport previously, so he has to walk all the way back to the lane after all the creeps have been denied there. And it's a 20 CS lead this early for Tatai. Rookie looking for another stun card on top of Captain, who's trying to run away, gets it down. Lots of damage going to go now, gets the slow from the smoke screen as well. Actually flashing away from the Graves that was chasing in.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane,
he's been caught out. Tabe trying to lock down Seal, sorry. This Magical Journey gets into safety. Destiny was popped by Rookie, trying to catch them off guard.
which means that Rookie does not get an opportunity to use it up in one of these side lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So far, things very quiet. Advantage still to Zatai, however, in terms of CS. Acorn doing a good job, though, keeping himself in it. Don't expect the dynamic of this lane to really change much until Fizz gets more itemization, but just because he's so far behind the clock, it may mean that Acorn never gets his foot back on the gas.
As we are taking a look at the bottom lane now, still a big CS deficit for STYZ at the moment. He's leading the charge in this bottom lane, but not that drastic in comparison to last game.
Anytime Ezreal's ahead on CS, though, good things have happened. As now top lane.
There's going to be a gank coming up on towards Tatai here. Pops his ultimate, trying to teleport out of there. No more crowd control to get rid of it. Can he die in time? He's going to be able to get out of there alive, but is he? The T-Knight's ticking, and Daikon be able to pick up the kill.
Okay, so Acorn's TP was wasted, and in the reverse, immediately Zatai's TP is wasted. Good pickup there. Nice burn damage from the Fizz and Kindred.
Saint looking like they did in game number 2 here against Invictus Gaming, you know, not giving any ground, looking a lot cleaner now.
It's even more punishing because not only you gave away the death, and again, we're talking about kind of where these small advantages are happening between these teams. It's in waves, in CS. So the fact that you kill the Swain and then you immediately shove in the wave into his tower, so you're not just picking up the kill goal, but you're denying that EXP.
Down in the bottom lane, Tabe flashes away from the ultimate coming out from the Ezreals. The Bard as well goes through the Magical Journey and will get taken down by Ray. Double kill for the Invictus Gaming bottom lane.
And it's just, check out the items. It's the fact that STYZ and Shu did not respect that Rain got the back end, has the BF sword, looked for the immediate fight because Ezreal was still sitting on a Doran's blade, and they should have seen that coming.
That's great for Invictus Gaming's bottom lane. They're now 1,000 gold ahead of Saint here. Despite the fact that Saint looked decent in the early game and have been training for objectives, but Rookie
Destiny top.
looking for a gank up in the top lane. Acorn sitting inside of the brush.
He still has teleport.
They're waiting very patiently. Eventually, Twisted Fate's going to head back towards that mid lane. Walks over towards, they know exactly where the Twisted Fate is. No one has looked at the dragon just yet, and might be time for either team to look to try and contest it as well. Wasn't able to get a glimpse of what it is. It is an ocean dragon here. So one of the dragons that teams would like to pick up early into the game.
I think it's helpful, especially if you have a very roam, gank-heavy support and jungler. The region will keep them on the rift longer, opening up more opportunities for play.
Let's take a look back in towards the mid lane. Otto, actually Destiny being popped. Let's see where the action is going up in the top lane. Acorn actually going to throw the fish out very early onto a Rookie to try and stop him from advancing any further forward. Ultimate collateral damage is going to come out from Graves there as Rookie now holds onto the gold card, trying to see if he can get the stun off onto Acorn. Does do it. We'll get the wild cards. No, it's not going to connect, but Acorn's got nowhere to run. He's trying to take down Tatai. Not going to be enough. The Swain will be able to stay alive. But in the meantime, Ocean Dragon does go down in favor of Saints.
Still very well played by Acorn. He buys his team enough time to trade his life for that Ocean Dragon. We'll see if Invictus Gaming pulled the trigger on pushing down his tower and trying to unlock more gold for the Swain.
For now, though, Invictus Gaming still lead 1,500 gold against Saint here. Otto trying to do whatever he can to get some damage down onto this turret while Rookie's away. In fact, he's actually going to trade back and forth. Lots of damage going down on towards this Azir. Otto needs to be a little bit careful. Does have his ultimate and exhaust available if he chooses to use it. And Captain is close by in case he gets into a sticky situation.
Yep, has the Lamb's Respite available, so Otto's actually just trying to bait Rookie forward.
Rookie being very respectful, though, not deciding to do anything too rash in this mid lane.
Okay, so Swain now has an open lane. It looks like Zatai is going to go ahead, go into a split pushing mode, and to continue to apply pressure to Acorn. That said, it's more so making sure that he times well with Destiny. So Destiny is on cooldown right now. If Zatai pushes forward and Rookie can't go up to assist him, it's actually just going to be free kills for Saint, simply because there's no objective underneath IG on the map that they can trade Zatai's life for, or more importantly, Zatai's pressure for. So I like the fact that they're kind of staggering their backs, buying their time a little bit, waiting for that Destiny to become available again, and then look towards that split push.
Well, let's see what's going to happen as we approach 12 minutes into this match. IG already have a very comfortable gold lead for themselves. They're 3,000 gold ahead of Saint at the moment. Saint, saving grace, they do have that Ocean Dragon picked up. But Invictus Gaming were able to answer that with a tower pick. They have CS deficits across all their lanes except for bottom lane, which is relatively even at the moment. And mid lane, relatively even as well.
Roa Twisted Fate.
Rod of Age has been picked up. Looking to be a little bit more tanky as well as lots more mana.
Yeah, a bit more of an initiation tool as well. Again, Swain lacks a lot of hard CC. This rookie's actually trading very well on Otto.
Good stun coming out there. Stops Otto from putting down the ultimate once he jumps straight on top of him. Looking for more, throws down more wildcards, trying to zone them away as S2IZ and Rain going to duke it on the bottom lane. There comes the Magical Journey. Ultimate does come out from Rain as well. Just try and back off. Siva is going to be able to get to relative safety here. Our rookie's been playing well in this mid lane. I mean, that's not too surprising. It is Rookie after all.
He did give up first blood.
That's fair.
But no, you are correct. Rookie's playing a much better game this time around. I think it's more so giving Otto the appropriate respect. It's no longer Snoopy in this mid lane. Maybe caught him off guard, but we expected that IG would kind of reset the mentality. You know, we tried something crazy in Game 2 because we just smashed him so hard in Game 1. Game 3, put the serious faces back on. So they're now looking to siege into Azir, to little avail.
Captain is there as well to try and stop them. Going to pounce forward to get some damage down on towards Kid, who just dashes out of there immediately. Destiny actually being popped. Well, this was a fake going too. Hello.
It's because Shu was collapsing on him, so he was actually caught behind enemy lines. So Rookie just, again, showing so much respect to Saint and not trying to push his luck with some flashy plays.
Invictus Gaming, they're very happy with the lane matchups they have right now. Bottom lane naturally pushing in towards S2YZ. Actually getting a lot of damage down on towards their tower, especially whenever Seal roams out of that lane. Destiny, whenever that's off cooldown, Rookie tries to make a play. Does have a teleport available, and so does the Swain. He's doing fairly well up in the top lane. Temper Fate does come out. We'll be able to lock down the Siva, who's actually not going to take any damage from the ultimate and from the Kitchen that just comes in. They're able to just jump out of there.
Good spell shield, and unfortunately the Cosmic Binding not connecting. Meanwhile, top,
You're going to see the Fizz take a lot of damage here. The ultimate Chum the Waters is going to come out and actually chunk down the Graves, but it's not going to be enough. He dashes forward. One more auto attack is enough. The ultimate comes out for Kid right into the face of the Fizz, and IG find another pick for themselves.
And it's because IG's mid and bottom lane have been able to neutralize any sort of aggression from Saint. The top lane lost, and there's little purpose for Captain to go up there, and Acorn has just continued to hemorrhage.
TP's actually going to come into the back line. See Tabe trying to lock down the Ezreal. Arcade shifts over the wall towards the Kindred. Stun code comes out onto Seal halfway through his magical journey, as now the Swain looking to try and chase down the Ezreal and the Kindred. Kindred will hop over the wall with the flash. Is the Ezreal a little bit too sticky for Invictus Gaming's liking to chase down?
Think about it this way. Saint tried to gank bottom lane. It didn't go successful. In response, IG ganked top. Success. They immediately then take that advantage and translate it towards the bottom side. So, unfortunately, Captain is just not having the same success rate that Kid has been having, and that's what's caused IG to take their lead in this game.
IG, they've been holding on to this lead quite nicely. 4,000 gold ahead of Saint. Kind of doing the exact thing that Saint did in the previous match against Invictus Gaming. Had a nice 4,000 gold lead this early into the game. Well, for now, they're very content with holding Saint to where they are, not trying to rush for any objectives or pressure them in any crazy unorthodox ways. Dragon will be coming back up in 25 seconds.
But that's fine, because this is where Saint actually want to be. Again, they've got an Ezreal, they have an Azir. They're trying to make crazy plays when they don't need to. Otto, unfortunately,
without an ultimate,
not connecting with his Emperor's Divide. Just farm it up, wait for those big item breakpoints. I do want to point out that Otto's going a bit of a different build, possibly a second item into Rylai's as opposed to Respect with an Abyssal.
So able to get down towards this bottom lane in time and stop Rain and Tabe from taking down this turret, but another push might be enough to get towards this turret. Azir desperately trying to defend this. Doesn't have a teleport. Packed Exhaust as his summoner spell here, so can't really get around the map that quickly.
I don't think I've ever seen Kid in the bottom lane for IG since he was an 80 carry. But again, the top lane has already won. So just allow Zatai to continue to passively win that and then make plays with Kid and Rookie elsewhere on the map now. It seems that IG are actually focusing their attention on the bottom lane.
He's winning that lane rather well here. 40 CS up ahead of the Fizz. We see Swains always create a CS deficit for themselves and always ahead of the curve, ahead of their opponents. That's spilling out to the other lanes as well as IG able to take down another turret.
And this is much more the game one from IG that we saw in this series. Again, very clean, clinical play, moving around, picking up their bot lane, sieging the towers when they're ready. They're not going to transfer a lot of their pressure and power into the mid lane, including bringing Zatai down.
Temper Fate does come out, trying to look for a Rookie. He's able to dodge it, but it's got to come up against the wall. As Sue has to take the magical journey, try and get out of there, leaves with a sliver of health. Meanwhile, Rain able to take down Acorn in the back lines. Captain is trying to run away, will get taken down as a double kill comes out for the Sivir, a triple kill for the AD carry, as Otto, he's going to be the last man standing for the side of Saint, and it's going to be a 18-minute ace coming up for Invictus Gaming.
I enjoyed the cute little flash on the back half of that from Tabe, trying to save his life, but it will be a pickup or trade 1 for 5 in favor of IG. We can go ahead and look at the replay. Effectively, what this comes down to is you have a top laner that actually means something versus a top laner that doesn't. Acorn jumps into the backline and is immediately deleted, while Zatai actually zoned off 3 people. You look at Acorn's build path when it comes out of this, and he's got the variety bucket special. He's got some armor, he's got some MR, sitting on a Sheen, but no completed item to his name, and the power of top lane was just so much stronger in the 5v5 environment.
And that was just, to me, that entire fight just sums up with Acorn with a very poor initiation there. Jumped in, tried to put Chum the Waters down. Look at that. 200 damage. Put down Chum the Waters, missed. Jumps on top of his pole, on top of everybody else, just gets stunned up and dies. It's not really what you want your tank Fizz to be doing in this match.
And more importantly, IG were able to take that team fight and translate it into an objective. So continuing to snowball their global lead, they're now closing on to 10K.
Very huge lead time of 20 minutes into the game. Even Saint didn't have that kind of a lead in what was a dominating game 2 from them. Invictus Gaming looking like they want to try and secure game number 3 against Saint as quick and as fast as possible.
They do have the setup and the preparation in both of their side lanes. Again, if they can isolate Zatai and Acorn, Zatai will naturally win that. Likewise, Destiny is available and a wave is prepped for bottom. So IG back to this very clinical side wave management style of play as they continue to siege.
We take a look at where the items at for both these teams are now as well. As Lich Bane's been complete for that Twisted Fate. So Rod of Ages into Lich Bane is Rookie's itemization of choice.
Very
Swain.
tanky, pushing oriented Twisted Fate.
Swain does have his Spirit Research picked up as well. The Rod of Ages. Temper Fate going to be popped there, but is on top of a spell shield coming up from the Sivir as the turret does fall down, and Kid immediately being aggressive as Destiny's getting popped. His shield gonna get locked down. Lemon Spike does come out, but there's so many low health members on the side of Saint, and two of them will fall down as soon as the Lemon Spike comes out. Now it's gonna be Otto trying to jump in there with the ultimate, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's a flash over the wall from Kid, picks up a double kill for the Graves, and now IG gonna be able to take down the base coming in for Saint.
Too little too late for Azir to make a rotation against the Destiny of Twisted Fate. And like you said, with Ezreal dead, with Azir dead, and with Fizz just far too weak, it's going to be the inhib for IG. There's no wave clear on Saint to stop them.
They've broken the base. They're going to be content with taking down the inhibitor. And Tatai, he's done his job. He's been able to keep Acorn occupied up in the top lane throughout that entire fight.
Means that there's no pressure or kill threat on this Twisted Fate or this Sivir, which allows the carries from IG to run rampant.
And IG, they've been running rampant this entire game, showing exactly what they do. And this is kind of what we expected from the Invictus Gaming lineup that wants to be one of the top teams in the LPL.
Again, it goes back to this idea that IG have more legacy players packed into their roster than any other team in the LPL, so you expect that they would be a very calm, collected, veterans type of roster, but they've always had this very messy, chaotic, inconsistent performance throughout their history in the LPL. This is actually probably the most consistent and even-keeled series that we've seen from IG. Only week 2 in the LPL, but again, there's no communication issues left on this roster. Rookie speaks fluent Mandarin. Kid has really come into his own as the jungler now, no longer really considered a role swap from AD carry to his position. Rain's looking better, finding his footing on kind of this utility style of AD carry as opposed to having a lot of responsibility in the meta. So it just suits IG better.
Yeah, Seal, you don't really want to be there, my friend.
Caca!
Temper Fate comes out. Swain's going to get locked down into that magical journey. Rookie comes out, picks up the kill for himself. Not a good position for the Bard to be in this late in the game.
That was dirty. Something that needs to be looked at, though, for teams facing across from IG is the reliance and priority on Sivir. Again, they are a split-pushing team. Sivir compensates for a lot of a split-pushing team's weaknesses because she's got great wave clear if the split-pusher is caught out. Likewise, she can make sure that it's very hard to engage on the numbers disadvantage of the rest of the team grouped up in mid lane, typically. Rain seems very reliant and dependent on the champion for his own individual performance.
Another Chum the Waters comes out there from Acorn, misses one more time and immediately tries to take his hate out on towards the Swain. Whoa! Otto!
Good night.
Just gets deleted from Summoner's Rift there. This collateral damage comes over the top of the wall, and Rain and Tyler are able to deal the brunt of the damage up front.
And like I said, IG, come on guys, stop messing around. Game 3, let's close it out. 22 minutes and they've run away with it.
That's what they're trying to do right here. They're over 10,000 gold ahead at the moment. In fact, 14,000 gold up. This is a huge deficit for Saint to come back from. We saw Invictus Gaming almost pull up. Almost pulled off that miracle comeback in game number 2.
IG are going to reset their positions on the map and then walk towards Baron.
And Baron is up and live as it's only 23 minutes into the game. We see a dragon each to both these teams. A Cloud and Ocean Dragon have been taken down so far. Next dragon to be spawning will be an Infernal Drake, but I have a feeling we might not get that far into the game with the way IG's been playing.
To be fair to Saint, they do have resources on their composition that they can stall out this game or turtle quite effectively with the wave clear from Azir as well as Ezreal. So there are options. There is hope. It's very, very tiny hope in a very dark, deep well. Somewhere.
Maybe the one that Atlas fell in recently. But that's not going to happen here, as we do see Kindred actually tries to pop the Lemon Spike on herself there. Cloud of damage has come out, did a lot of damage to her as well, but Rookie's the only one that picks up the kill after doing the work with the Destiny.
Jungler dead means that it's a free Baron, though.
And this well just gets deeper and deeper for the side of Saint as they do turn their eyes towards the big purple worm. And Kid already working to try and take that one down. The rest of the team jumping over the walls, putting some damage down towards Baron Nashor here. True Shot Barrage actually comes out really early, so not many options for them to try and steal this one. And should be Baron on over towards Invictus Gaming.
It's now about where this Baron's going to be consolidated. Typically, you want to grab the mid inhibitor, but the bottom inhibitor should be spawning relatively early and doesn't have the tower in front of it.
17-3 on the scoreboard, and almost a 20,000 gold lead for Invictus Gaming right now. 7 turrets to none, and only a single dragon pickup to try and save the base of Saint at the moment. Ezreal does have a couple of nice items.
And this all started in the top lane, which we expect from IG. The surprise that we got was that Rain and Tabe managed to hold their own. Typically, IG's bot lane completely collapses and just waits for the top side of the map to come pick them up from school. Instead, IG looks so much more put together and well-rounded because Rain and Tabe were performing across from the likes of STYZ and Shu.
Exactly. STYZ, he put on a phenomenal performance last game. He's the high 80 carry that's hyped up for the side of Saint here and hasn't been able to shut down what is considered to be the weaker bottom lane matchup coming from Invictus Gaming. Slowly though, Invictus Gaming are strangling out Saint. They're taking it slow and steady, making sure they find whatever objective they can before pushing it towards the base. And now they're going to try and do just that. They're going for a 1-3-1 split push here with Swain and Twisted in the mid lanes and bottom lanes. But here comes an ultimate coming in from Otto, looking for it. He's going to take it out really low though. One more auto attack should be able to take it down as here comes the Destiny right on top of the Kindred and the Azir. Azir will be taken out first by Rookie. He's now trying to isolate them in between the turret. Pops the Zodiac to try and keep himself alive. Never move. Will take down Shu. Locks him down as Acorn is trying to get out of there. But it's going to be the Ezreal that gets locked down by the shotgun pellets coming out of the graves. And this should be game coming out for Invictus Gaming.
And we talked about how IG loved the split push, but that Sivir pick means so much for them. But this gold discrepancy spoke for itself.
Look at this. Swain is actually trying to zone them away from their fountain there. There's Acorn. Picks up a kill onto Tabe, but it's a little bit too little too late. The only member left alive is the Kindred, who's getting the heck out of there and away from these Nexus turrets that are about to fall down. Invictus Gaming at 27 minutes able to close out the third and final game up against Saint. Or they might, unless they can hold off the defense here. It's not going to be enough. Otto tries to go in. Lancer Spider's there. Not going to be enough. Katza goes out. Otto picks up a consolation kill there against the Sivir. But this Nexus is going to go down. Kid will be able to get a few shotgun pellets into it. And IG pick up the win 2-1.
One of the earliest victories we've seen in the LPL. And unfortunately for Saint fans, they actually have a record of having the fastest losses in the LPL.
That's not a record that you'd like to have at all. But Invictus Gaming, in my opinion, truly deserve that victory.
Well, if you cut out game 2 here of IG and just kind of write that one out to confidence, you know, playing around, testing some things, IG looked phenomenal in game 1 and game 3, and that's what we expect from a top 4 LPL team.
And you know what, Saint, they came out strong in game number 2, had some glimmers of hope in game 1 as well. But in fair credit to Invictus Gaming, even game 2, all the way down to the wire, they were winning team fights at a 6,000 gold deficit with no turrets left in their base. They still looked good.
I will give them that. A lot of smiles coming out across from these two teams as IG will take a very well-deserved bow for game 1 and game 3.
And this comes
and
back.
Some team fights in game 2.
And this does come back to the story that we talked about for these two teams, you know? Invictus Gaming, they are a team.
I thought their shirt said 16. And I just realized it says IG.
Invictus
I was like, why do all
Gaming?
their shirts say 16 on them?
Well, Frosker and I don't know what to say. I wanted to bring this somewhere else, but now we're going to talk about 16 shirts.
Do they all say different numbers on them? Like, what is that? Why is it a football jersey? Their jerseys are always so unique and strange in the LPL. And then I was like, oh, it's IG. I got it.
First is the cute little boy that is watching the LPL. Now it's the jersey, the IG. They've officially tilted the desk here today. But Frosker, I want to bring this back to what we talked about before this game started, which is the fact that, you know, Invictus Gaming, they're coming to the LPL here, looking to try and prove that they are one of the top teams. Saint, trying to prove that they're, you know, one of the teams here, but it just didn't quite work out.
Saints still have a long way to go as we look at the results for the day. In a surprising 2-0 victory, Game Talents really showed up big over Newbie. And then in a 2-1 slugfest, I'm going to say for a portion of it, IG do manage to take down Saint. And unfortunately for Saint fans, there are a lot of synergy issues, but something you can respect is the individual talent across that roster.
So a lot of surprises coming out today. Game Talent's able to continue to undefeated run here. Saint pick up one game, but it's not enough. We take a look at the standings now in Group A. Game Talent's right at the top. Sitting behind them is going to be Edward Gaming, who are 2 wins. I haven't played that third game just yet. Invictus Gaming sitting right behind those two with a single win and a loss. Whereas Newbie currently a win and 2 losses, with Saint and Snake sitting at the bottom of the table with 2 losses each.
I just want to point this out that EDG took Newbie to 3 games, and Game Talents did it in 2.
So it's going to be a very interesting matchup to watch it when Game Talents take them on. But for now, let's take a look at the matches we have tomorrow. It's going to be RNG taking on OMG. Vici will be taking on IMA. Team WE will be taking on LGD.
A lot of different weighted powers there across the schedule. I'm really looking forward to Vici versus IMA in particular as we continue to kind of suss out where these promotion teams really stack up in comparison to the rest of the LPL. Game Talents has already been a massive surprise. IMA is starting to turn a few heads. Unfortunately, Saint can't really be spoken in the same breath, but they could look to continue to develop that synergy and ramp up over time.
And speaking of Saint, let's dive straight back into the analysis of that game, because we saw there, Saint, like you mentioned, not performing to the ceiling that they possibly could. Invictus Gaming, fumbling here and there, but still proving that they're the better team.
If you just remove Game 2, I actually don't think that IG really fumbled at all. I think it was very clean, very oppressive, very strong. Again, I think that there are a couple of key factors in Game 2 that you can kind of almost even write it off as little bit overconfidence, maybe practicing some different. I mean, that's the strength of a best of 3, is that if you completely smash game 1, you have an opportunity where you can change things up and look to experiment a little bit.
Well, let's take a look at the MVP for that matchup very shortly. As is going to go over towards Kid, 9-0-9 in the jungle, 27% damage share. He played well.
We're actually now in a point in Kid's jungle career. Well, this isn't sarcasm, and this isn't met with what? Like, this is well-deserved. Kid is actually jungling very well. He's a stable member of the Invictus Gaming roster, and I said it before and I say it again. Everyone will look towards Rookie on that team, but when IG are actually playing at their best, it's not Rookie who's the star. It's Zatai and Kid being those legacy players that IG have supported for so long.
And you know what? Even Rain and Tabe stepped up in that game. So you have another avenue of attack to look towards, which is their bottom lane, which surprised us in game number 3 as well.
Completely agree. Normally we just see kind of any iteration of IG's bottom lane, whether that be Time and Kitties, Rain and Kitties, Tabe and Time, Tabe and Rain completely collapse.
Kitties
it seems
and
that we found the magical synergy, the magical combination.
A little bit of Rain, a little bit of Tabe, that's all you really need for the IG bottom lane, and able to pick up the win.
And IG just looks so much more confident and comfortable moving around the map. We know that they were looking for a shot caller. That's why they changed out Kitties for Tabe. Tabe, obviously another legacy player coming in and filling in for Kitties in that support role. And he seems to have given IG exactly what they were missing all along, a brain.
And you know what? On the flip side of the Rift here, Saints, formerly HYG, have completely changed their entire roster. No more Chimin. The final member of HYG is gone. But still, they just don't really have an identity right now.
They have an identity. It's that each one of their individual players presses their buttons really well, but unfortunately they can't press them together well enough. That's Saint's identity.
So
right
they're
now.
The opposite of Team WE.
No, like,
so
think about it. Kinda. No, like, Acorn had a phenomenal, 2 outplays. Like, think about that massive escape where he saves the perfect playful trickster to escape and to find the execute. STYZ had an MVP-worthy performance on his Caitlyn and showed why that pick should be banned away from him and should be respected. So individually, Otto taking Rookie on 1v1 and not getting completely smashed, in fact, beating Rookie in parts of the lane phase. Individually, there's a lot of talent packed onto that Saint roster. they've only been together for a limited time. It's just now about kind of organizing that to move in the same direction. I mean, Hyper Youth Gaming re-qualified themselves through the promotion tournament into the LPL before being picked up by and rebranded as Saint. So this roster is very young and fresh in terms of working together.
So Team WE, apparently the opposite of Saints coming to this matchup. And speaking of Team WE,
you're selling that. I was like, no. He's like, the inverse Team WE, Saint, got it.
That is what it is now. That's officially what it's going to be from now onwards. But, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow's matches because Team W, they're going to be playing against Vici. We have, LGD. We have Vici up against IMA as well. And we also have the first match of the day, which is going to be RNG against OMG. Any of these matches really standing out because, week 2 has really shaken up what we actually thought coming into summer split of the LPL was going to look like.
I just have to go back to IMA. I don't necessarily think that Vici are kind of an elite team, especially not in their performance now, although they are looking better after their game against LGD yesterday. But it's more so IMA. We were unsure about game talents. Game talents are certainly surprising. We'll see if they continue to develop and rise. IMA have a lot of talent on their roster, formerly the EDG sister squad, renamed from Edward Esports, or what was their name? Edward, yeah.
EDE?
Edward, yeah, EDE into IMA. Look really strong, Road in particular, their support, and so it's just kind of another testing ground for them to see, are they as consistent as we think they are? Is it just a spike and then they'll kind of slump more? Can they be another LSPL miracle story like Gu and Snake?
Well, IMA do have a match coming up tomorrow, and that's all from us tonight.